So let me begin by asking you a question. How many of you, most of you are practitioners, some are students, how many of you have ever used the rubric shamelessness? Jennifer has used the rubric. Sumera has used. Princey has used. Ritu has used. So the people who have used, uh, if you remember the case where you used it, would you like to share how and when you used this rubric? You're free to switch on your video for that while you're speaking. Anybody? Jennifer has seen a case where there was a display of a lack of shame. This is the normal way we interpret. And Jennifer, do you remember the remedy? Ulrike has used this often. Ritu has used it for display of wealth. Very true. Very good. And Ethereum, very nice, Jennifer. A new remedy. It's not given in the repertories yet. Anybody else would like to share? We're just waiting for some more people to join in. Let's. Ritu has used in children tuberculinum, very nice. Sumera has used it in a case of child who refused to wear underwear, very nice. All right, friends. So let's begin today's class, today's master class. Just a moment. Princey has used Hyoscyamus in it. Hyoscyamus is one of the most commonly used remedies for shamelessness, and in fact, it was one of the Hyoscyamus case which prompted me to record this lecture, to do this class. Because while I was doing this case, I realized that there are so many other remedies which we don't use for this rubric, or we do not understand the depth of the rubric and the remedies which are associated with it. What happens is that when we speak about shamelessness, the most common idea is that shamelessness is somehow related to the body, exposure of the body. So the rubric shamelessness has 39 remedies in complete repertory. But the sub-rubric shamelessness exposes the person has only 8 remedies. So out of the 39 remedies which have been listed as shameless, only 8 tend to expose themselves. And that is where the whole idea came up. How do we understand the rest of the remedies? And in fact, how do we understand even these common remedies, these 8 remedies? How do we differentiate? Because many of these remedies I personally not used also. It's not possible to use every remedy for every rubric, but to even have an understanding of when we can use a particular remedy. What is the story of a remedy? Not every remedy which is given in a particular rubric has a similar story. Not every remedy given in the shameless rubric has the same kind of shamelessness, the same intensity of shamelessness. And it becomes very pertinent, it becomes very important to choose the right remedy, to differentiate between these remedies, because sometimes it happens that when you are repertorizing, you get two remedies from the same rubric which are very close, and you are not sure which one to give. At that point of time, if you understand the essence of that particular remedy, if you understand the proving symptoms, if you understand the core character of that remedy, it's very easy to differentiate. So I just want to confirm, you can see the shared screen? Everybody can see the PowerPoint presentation? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Princey. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you. So, so where do we begin? When we have to understand the shameless remedies, the first thing that we need to understand is the concept of shame and the rubric shame also. Why it is important to understand the rubric shame and the concept of shame. Let me show you. The rubric shame has 196 remedies, and the rubric shameless has 39 remedies. The strange thing is that out of the 39 remedies, probably 27 remedies given in the rubric shameless are also present in the rubric shame, and sometimes with more intensity. We need to understand this. To understand this polarity, we need to understand the psychology of shame. Why is a remedy given in the rubric shame and also given in the rubric shameless? The reason, we will understand the physiological reason also, but one of the core reasons you will find is that in Materia Medica, you'll often find a lot of remedies have presence in polar opposite rubrics. You will see opposite personality traits because they are a form of compensatory behavior. People can, I'll give you more examples, which will make it easier for you to understand. We know that lycopodium is one of the main remedies in cowardice. It's a coward. And yet, lycopodium on the polar opposite is known to be very aggressive, domineering, cruel. That is also lycopodium. So on one hand, we have got timid and coward lycopodium, and another side, we have a compensated lycopodium, which is cruel, which is domineering, which is arrogant, which is bad with the subordinates. Same thing happens with Thuya also. We know that one of the key rubrics of Thuya is that the limbs are made up of glass, or the limbs are made up of wood. So on one hand, we see this fragile Thuya, that the Thuja is fragile. Internally, the Thuja is fragile. The Thuja feels vulnerable. And on the other hand, we see Thuja, which is compensated and which is very strong from the outside. Again, hard-hearted, cruel, business-minded. That is also Thuya. So we see this compensated side in many, many remedies, even a remedy like Calcarea-carbonica, which is known to be mild, yielding, dependent, can be very obstinate and extrovert. The shy Calcarea carb can be a very extrovert remedy. In fact, if you see that Calcarea-carbonica is given in the rubric shamelessness, it is +3 in the shame, but +1 in shameless. So we need to understand, when is this shy and shameful Calcarea becomes a shameless Calcarea? Why Hyoscyamus is present in the rubric shame as well as shameless? Why is Secale present in both shame and shameless? Why is Platina present both in shame and shameless? Why is Natrum muriaticum a remedy which we do not relate with shameless behavior? Why is Natrum muriatic present +4 in shame but is also present in shameless?